Okay, of course you need to know the definitions. And here we have two definitions. So what you need to know is the one on the right hand side. Okay, this one from the IEA. And you need to know the three research areas of human factors: cognitive, physical, organizational. So if I give you an example, like the words here, for example, like a human-computer interaction, so you should understand that belongs to cognitive ergonomics. Okay, and research methods, you can distinguish the two types of research: descriptive studies, experimental or evaluation research. So basically, it's just like the term. Descriptive studies only collect the data about the criterion variables or the stratification variables. But for the experimental research, they have independent variables. They also have dependent variables. And the dependent variables in the experimental research is just like, it's also the human criteria measures. It's similar to the criteria measures in descriptive studies. Then we further look at the human criteria measures. So here, if I ask you the number of target detected, what kind of belongs to what kind of criteria measures, you were able to answer. So we have three types of human criteria measures: performance, subjective, and physiological. So you can distinguish which is which. Okay. And when you analyzing the data, again, these two types of research use different statistics analysis. So descriptive studies use descriptive statistics. And experimental research, you have to report both descriptive statistics, also the inferential statistics. And then we move to the psychometric requirements. So you have to understand what is reliability and what is validity. Reliability here, we only mention the retest reliability. And for the validity, you need to know what is face validity, content validity, construct validity, internal, external validity. Okay, again, when I give you an example, you can understand which validity is for the example. So that is why during the class I will ask you provide the example to the certain concepts. So if you can provide the correct example to the certain concept, that means you understand the concept. Okay, face, content, construct, internal, external. And this is the cycle of human factors. So you need to know the whole cycle. So that's basically how you apply the human factors for solve the problem. Okay. Perception. Okay, you need to know what is top-down, what is bottom-up processing. And for the visual perception, you need to know different properties of these two photoreceptor cells. You need to know what is the differences between the rods and the cones. And here we have introduced 4 visual capabilities. So you need to know the meanings of these two. Accommodation, what is the accommodation, what is visual acuity, what is contrast sensitivity, and what is adaptation. Okay, then is psychophysics. Okay, you need to know the absolute stressor and different stressor. And you'll be able to know the differences between these two figures. And Stevens power law. Right, signal detection theory. So this is important theory. So you need to know all the theory, all the content of the theory. Okay. So we have 4 conditions, and you were able to explain this overlapping distribution. So you need to know what is the dipron, what is the beta, and what is the shadow areas corresponding to the 4 conditions. So the dipron is related to sensitivity, and the beta is related to response bias. Okay, memory and attention. So for the memory, you have to know the working memory, the capacity. So it's a 7 plus minus 2 chunks. So you need to know what is a chunk. And for the long-term memory, we introduce semantic networks, schemas, script. So you need to know what are these. and also what is a mental model. Attention, there's 4 types of attention. You need to know which is which. Selective, focused, divided, and sustained. So for the divided attention, you need to know the multiple resource theory. Then display. Display, we have homework. So the 13th principle of display design is the focus. That means you need to know, have a general idea about how to design the information display according to perceptual principles, mental model principles, and attention and memory. Okay, the configure displays. You need to know what is a configure display and how it's linked to the principles. Control. There's different coding to identify the control. So you need to have a brief idea about what kind of a coding you can use. Shape, texture, size, location, operational methods, color, and level. And compatibility, you need to know what is compatibility. And that will be spatial compatibility, physical similarity, and physical arrangement. And then the movement compatibility. And the next one is the you can distinguish the response time, reaction time, and movement time. So reaction time plus the movement time equals response time. And for the reaction time, we have a simple reaction time and choice reaction time. And what is the basic unit for simple reaction time, and what is the time needed for the choice reaction time. Then we have Hickman law, which is a formula for choice reaction time. Then the movement time, we have a similar formula, Fitz's law. So you have to distinguish the difference between Hickman law and Fitz's law. Okay. And hand tools. So we have another homework. So there's a term about hand movement. You need to understand these terms. And here's the 5 principles. you need to know what these principles talk about. Okay. The human errors. Okay, classification of human errors. First, we use the discrete action, so you can understand what is error of omission and error of commission. Then another classification methods, you will know what error belongs to skill-based level, what kind of error belongs to rule-based, and what kind of error belongs to knowledge-based. And dealing with human errors, there's 3 different types of design. So again, if I give you an example, you can understand what kind of a design of this example. Okay, these are 3 terms. What is a hazard? What is a risk? What is a danger? Then you need to know these 4 fundamental elements for the warning sign. Okay. Then experience. So here we have 3 concepts. You just know these 3 concepts: anticipated use, end use, sensory driven, processing, knowledge driven. And the last one is meaningful, interesting, with respect to value. And you need to know the definition about effectiveness, efficiency, and satisfaction. And you know how to measure these 3 terms. So again, if I give you an example, and you can identify what types of measure it is. Okay, this one you have to understand the 4 human-centered design activities. Okay, that's it. So the highlight probably will cover 80% to 100% of the exam. Okay. Huh? 没有，我们全考这个意思。没有。 Okay, so that means it may not maybe few questions is not covered by the highlight, but if you can study those highlights, I think you will get good scores in the exam. Okay, any question? Okay, then see you next week.